Good morning, here we are at our showroom in Bali. We're about to go and jump on a flight to Java to go and reclaim some timber. And our plan is to bring you all along for the ride so you can see where the timber for Nusantara Lifestyles furniture actually comes from. Wait, you're not coming?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have chef ladies in Kulon Progo.
So today we're off to the hills outside of Yogyakarta to an area called Gunung Kidul, where we're going to knock ourselves down a house. So yeah, these houses were built decades ago, maybe even some centuries, and they're built out of, sort of old, really old forest teak wood back in those days. So now, after decades of weathering and the teak wood itself, the timber is amazing, super hard, super dry, and yeah, just ideal for making long-lasting furniture. So yeah, we mainly get the timber from old Javanese structures known as joglo or limasan. There's a couple of other varieties as well. And yeah, they're actually a really great designed house for tropical conditions here. But as everybody's wanting to modernize and build concrete blocks with air conditioning, we end up with a bunch of timber that we can reclaim and reuse in our furniture, which is great as well for us. All right, so we've finally arrived in the village here up in the hills outside of Jogja. That turns out 2.5 hours away. And what you can see here is villages like this, traditional villages, are built actually out of, a lot of them at the front of the houses already made from cement or made from stone. And the one that we're going to knock down, the wooden part's actually the back of the house, so it's the older structure. And most of these houses like this, if they're not made from wood out the front, they'll definitely have a wooden structure out the back. And then what we normally do is we take, basically just try and choose the best structure, with the best quality wood, because the wood that we use is actually premium in our furniture. So yeah, this is the place that we're going to go out the back of. As you can see, it's a cement structure at the front, but as you'll see in a minute, it's got wood out the back, it's all timber. So that's what we'll be knocking down. And you can see a few other different styles of the houses as well around.
Yang sini tuh merat.
Merat.
Ini yang ini.
Yang apa?
Nah, yang ini.
Oh, beda lagi toh?
Ya beda. Ini under.
Under.
Subunan.
Sunan. Ini rumahnya udah sejak kapan, Pak? Dibangun kapan ya kira-kira?
Ya kira-kira kalau ini ya nggak tahu dulu.
Tahun. Zaman dulu pokoknya.
Zaman dulu.
Iya. Berarti puluhan tahun pasti ya, ada. Lebih loh. Ya, lebih. Ada ratusan tahun nggak?
Ratusan tahun ya. Umurnya ini.
Iya. Ya tua lah pokoknya. Alright, so yeah, so we're inside this little structure now. We've got some really good timber here. And Bapak was just telling me about the different parts, which part is which. And if I can remember right, and he might help me in a minute, we've got the soko, belandar, merat, under, sunan, dutur. And these parts are probably the strongest structures of the house. It's the bigger wood, it's the older wood, and this is the type of wood that we use when we make the furniture. And yeah, Bapak was also telling me that this place is potentially up to 100 years old. They actually don't remember when it was built, potentially when he was a child or before he was born. So yeah, kemungkinan besar sampai puluhan sampai 100 tahun umurnya. Yeah, so it could be 100 years old, nobody knows, but it is old and it's amazing wood, and yeah, it's going to make some great quality furniture into the near future. So yeah, let's knock this place down. So yeah, we were talking earlier about how old and strong the frame of the house is, the structure of the house with this sort of wood. But as you can see, there's also a lot of other timber in the house. If you have a look at the, at this roof here, this is all teak wood as well. It's just newer, and as new as, not in brand new, it's probably 10, 20 years old when they redid the roof. But that's also got a lot of use. So we'll use a lot of that type of wood for different components, smaller components in furniture. We will pick and choose the good stuff and leave the stuff that's not so good behind. But yeah, it's not just only that sort of old, thick, strong, centuries old wood that we use, but some of the other stuff as well. And then yeah, basically all of this wood, although some of these panels won't be used for anything, they're pretty much useless. But we will often sort of take that stuff and donate it, leave it here with the local village to use in sort of traditional ovens, or yeah, whoever's got a use for it. There's always a use for wood like that. So every part of this gets used, yeah. Every part except these old tiles. They're done. So yeah, as you can see here, the previous occupant of the house has written their birthday or their child's birthday or someone's birthday so they don't forget. There's a name up the top there. I can't see who it is, but we've got Lahir Hari, which is the date of birth, and it looks like 1979 on the 27th of the Javanese month of Jumad Dilakir, apparently. So I don't know what month that is, but yeah, someone's done that so they don't forget their date of birth, which is smart. Right, so before we take this wood, put it in this truck and hit that road, there's one little important detail that we need, and that is this letter. And what this letter allows us to do is basically a letter of permission from the village government that allows us to take the wood back to Jogja. And importantly, it's also a really major part of the certification process for our reclaimed wood. So yeah, this little thing here is pretty integral to the whole business. Anyway, let's load this truck up and let's get out of here. So these guys are going to finish loading the truck. We're going to boost down the mountain, get down to town and see if we can meet them down the bottom before it gets dark or before it pours with rain.
The garment is heating, so I think we'll continue the unloading tomorrow morning.
Okay, so the truck made it down through the rainstorm yesterday afternoon, and then last night while we were tucked up having a meal and having a rest, they unloaded everything at our facility here. However, it doesn't end there. Now we take this reclaimed timber and we got to turn it into some furniture. Okay, so the first thing that we've got to do is get rid of all the nails and foreign objects out of the timber. So once we've removed the nails, we then cut the wood down into components, profile it, get it, I guess, more into a form that we associate with normal timber, so then we can start to make the furniture. Okay, so the next step is just to fill in some of the little holes and replace some of the little defect parts of the timber. And yeah, while we use premium timber in all our furniture products, which is, by premium I mean like the best choice wood from the timber that we've reclaimed, there will be times where there's some little holes or little defects that need to be replaced like this. And it impacts the strength and quality of the timber in absolutely no way whatsoever. It's still super strong, still super good, but we feel that it just adds a little bit, that unique element to the wood, and represents the stories, that of the wood's previous life. Yeah, so that's really it. After this, the wood just goes through that sort of normal furniture construction process, sanding, finishing, before it gets sold and enjoyed by our customers around the world. Yeah, so that's it really. It's a little bit simplistic, but it's a good overview of where our reclaimed timber actually comes from, and also the process required to get it to the point of being a piece of furniture. So I guess aside from the history of the wood and all the stories behind it, or even the overall strength of reclaimed teak, the thing that I like most about doing this is kind of that feeling of circularity that you get from producing furniture this way. So, I don't know, taking something old and making it new is actually pretty cool. I think understanding the negative impacts of plantation forestry and the timber that comes from it, regardless if people want to package it up as sustainable, actually gives us more confidence when we choose to highlight sustainability as a way to promote the furniture that we develop at Nusantara Lifestyle.